Welcome back, everybody. Brian Stoudemiller here, the Vermont National Guard Child and Youth Program, and we have Mr. Jonathan Catherman, the sociologist that we've been working through the 5 big changes deployment demands on teens, and we are at number 5 with rituals. Jonathan, give us a little quick recap and then talk to us about rituals, sir.
Okay, rules, routines, relationships, roles, and now rituals. All these things are changing because a parent is deployed. And we're naming it and claiming it. The context of the rituals that change in our life are important because they're the things we really look forward to. And they're often like these kind of key points of the year or the month or the week. We got to recognize and face them. So we got to face the challenge or face the change. And that is, are we willing or unwilling for the rituals of our life to change? And we got to talk about it. Since we're going to open the conversation between you and I and teens, you've now got to go find that adult that you trust to have this extended conversation with about how the rituals of your life change, like vacations, special events, things from birthday parties to special holiday celebrations. Right. These are the rituals. Like, we always do this on the 4th of July, and this year we're not. You've got to be kidding. Right. That would acknowledge that a ritual in your life has changed. Or we always do this thing on birthdays. This is how we celebrate birthdays. And now we can't because the parent who always organized it is gone. You're recognizing that a ritual in your life has changed.
Maybe it's the one time in a life that the ritual may happen, like graduation from high school or high school prom.
Yeah.
And it's not really a ritual yet for you, but it's a ritual for our culture. And maybe your deployed service member's missing that too.
Yes. And teen, you're going to feel that because there's you're experiencing a loss that you can't really identify, because it's not like you're not going to graduate high school, but you were just really looking forward to your parent being there. Or it's not like this is you're not going to turn into a teenager when you go from 12 to 13, but you really were excited that your parent was going to be there for the big teenager birthday party. What you're experiencing is a little bit of loss, and it's okay to acknowledge that. It doesn't mean that the rituals won't ever happen again, but in this moment, in this time, you're feeling the pain of it, and that's understandable. Or we could flip it around the other way. Maybe you get to go on a vacation you've never been able to before because a different side of the family just invited you to go to Hawaii. Because you're like, okay, I like this kind of ritual. Yeah, right. We didn't do this before, but because my parents deployed, my grandparents invited me to go to Hawaii with them. Now be careful. Don't set up the expectation that from now on, all vacations compare to Hawaii. Right. So just to acknowledge that the rituals of your life are going to change is the important part here. Now, the question I'd have is, are you willing to accept these or welcome them? Or unwilling, meaning that you're tolerating and resisting them. So again, we've got to go back to willing when you're facing a change, put you on the mindset of being able to see that change as a challenge, and we thrive in challenges. Whereas if we see this change in these rituals as something I'm not willing to do, I am not ready for this change, and I then tend to feel like my experience, my emotions, my performance goes down, and I feel threatened. And in turn, I'm just trying to get through this. I'm just trying to survive. Teens, we're wanting you to see the change in your rituals as at least accepting it. You got to accept it, or try to welcome it into your life because it's temporary, and it may actually play out for a positive thing.
Right. And it goes back to you saying before, like, we don't have to like the changes. We just have to be willing and open to them.
It's interesting when you don't have to agree with everybody, and you don't have to like everything everybody does. When somebody says, I don't like that, don't take it personal. Somebody says, I disagree with you, don't take it personal, right? But I can still accept you. I can still accept the situation, even if I don't necessarily like it. Right. How about this one for you? How do you feel, Brian, about teens inviting their deployed parent into the rituals of life, even though they're gone?
I think that sounds like a great idea. There's so many ways that we're able to do that. Just like we're able to connect from potentially 1,200 miles away from each other right now.
Right.
We're able to connect. So I think that it provides a great opportunity to continue on with the rituals with that deployed service member And even as you may create new ones in your home or for you, you can create them and alongside that deployed service member.
And if you're creating something new in your life as a ritual that you would like to keep going, week over week or month over month or year over year, however often you do it, even if it's a one-time thing, let's say again, like a birthday party or a graduation, to invite that parent who is deployed into the experience. The invitation alone is a compliment. I can't think why your parent would want to say no to be on a FaceTime live stream or a Zoom call. I know we all hate the word Zoom anymore because we spent so long on it with the pandemic, but it doesn't matter. You've just invited them into the experience. And if they can't be there literally physically in the room, at least they can see what's going on and get a sense of the feel of the excitement and the interests. So I would encourage you to invite your parent into these experiences. If you do go on vacation, FaceTime with your parent on the beach or in the mountains or wherever it is you are. If you are having a party, bring them in for a minute of it so that they get to see everybody excited and celebrating. If you are walking across the stage for graduation, make sure someone who knows how to use the camera is getting a video or live streaming them in. So invite your parents into these rituals.
They want to be there. You might need to modify your ritual a little bit to allow them to be part of it because of that time change, which we talked about early in an earlier session. But yeah, definitely.
And don't forget, some rituals may need to change as well. Maybe it's time. I'm 16, I'm 17, I'm 18, I'm 19. It's time that this ritual change, and now's my chance. But do it in a way that complements all the experiences you had before. Because a hard thing for parents is to see you guys change so quickly. It's not that we don't want you to grow into mature adults. It's when you were little, we have all these amazing memories of that and these rituals that we created with you when you were little. And now we recognize, oh my goodness, you're growing up so fast. And now you're in a position where you're wanting some of these rituals that we do to change. And as a parent, I might have a hard time accepting that. Like, I just don't want them to change because that means you're getting bigger. That means you're growing up. So be open for change in your rituals. If you want it to change, be really cool about how you position it before your parent. How you show them that this is something you're hoping for. Complement the past and make an offering for how you can see this change benefiting you both in the future. You know what? This is the conversation you would have if your parent was sitting right in front of you in your living room, right? Yeah. It's just as odd now because they're far away. So rituals change, be involved, and put your best foot forward and tell them what it is you like to see change.
And beyond changing them, maybe there's new ones you want to introduce.
You may be able to, again, show your level of maturity because of what you introduce into your home in the absence of a parent, that when that parent comes back from deployment, they like, man, you really handled it around here. I'm really proud of you. Look what you added to our family. So it's a great opportunity to bring that additional value into your home.
Absolutely.
That's what mature young adults, teenagers do. They understand change happens and then they find ways to manage it for good. The opposite of that is that you push back on this change and it creates problems. If we find out we've got a problem with a parent on deployment for any of these changes, any of these demands that we're facing, the rules, the routines, the relationships, the roles, the rituals, if we just complain about it, we're not going to have a solution. Yeah. Mature people understand change happens, and then they get involved to manage that change so it comes out good on the other side.
Hopefully good for you and for the everybody else involved. Yeah.
It's hard being a teenager. Let's just acknowledge it.
Hard.
Yeah. It's also hard being a parent.
Yep.
But together we're better.
Together we're better. Yeah. And I know that for teens, for me being a parent, I know that it can be hard for my teenage son to see that I love him and that we're trying to work together. But know that your parents love you, both the ones that are at home and that are deployed, and they want to see you better. You need to help show them that you also want to be better.
Most importantly, keep that line of communication open, letting them know that you want to be better because we as parents want you to be better. In fact, as parents, we want our kids to be better than us. I've never said, nor have I ever heard a good parent say, I want my kids to be almost as good as me.
No.
We say, we want you to be better than us. We'll often do anything we can to help guide you to see how you can mature, discover, develop, and become this person that you're created for in the very beginning. That's why we brought you into this world, not to sound weird, but we want to see you be absolutely amazing. And you will.
You will be.
Let me wrap up with this statement. I believe everyone is capable of greatness and the world needs yours. And teens, you're in the prime spot to discover and develop that greatness. So even with a parent deployed, you get the structure and the support system around you, and tomorrow will be a better day than today. That's what you're here for, Brian. That's why you're here, because these teens need you, man. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you. Jonathan, this has been great. I really appreciate your time and your energy and your effort into assisting the Vermont National Guard teams, especially when they're facing deployment. But please know, teams, that beyond deployment, this stuff helps on everyday life, even if you have everybody safe at home. Jonathan, thank you so much for your wisdom and your maturity and sharing it with us. And I know that our teens, and I hope that you teens will benefit tremendously from this. It does take effort. These are 5 big changes that are demanded of you. So continue to keep that head up and keep making those strides forward every day to bettering yourself. Please know that's what we, Jonathan and I, want for you and out of you. And I kind of, had a bit of an expectation of that out of you because I love you. So just keep on moving forward. Keep naming it and claiming it, because that's super important to your work. So Jonathan, thank you, sir.
It's my privilege. Teens, go get them. And I hope to meet you all in person one day.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Thanks, Brian.
Take care, everybody.